This is HOA property. My authority is final. Linda blocks the fire hydrant with her body. The firefighter doesn't blink. Your authority ends where fire codes begin. He points to the overgrown shrubs. 3 feet clearance. Now. Linda's clipboard shakes. 7 years running this neighborhood flawlessly. The firefighter unclips his radio. Then 7 years of violations. His gloved hand brushes the hydrant's rusted cap. Let's see what else we find. Neighbors gather as Linda's perfect world cracks. The fire engine's diesel engine rumbles like distant thunder. I never imagined moving to Willow Creek Estates would spiral into a neighborhood feud that would land me in the middle of a legal showdown. But when you cross paths with a homeowners association president like Linda Harper, drama isn't just likely, it's guaranteed. As a firefighter, my life is built around urgency and safety. Seconds matter. Decisions save lives. But none of that seemed to matter in Willow Creek, especially not to Linda, who ruled the community like a monarch draped in pastel athleisure and wielding a clipboard like a royal decree. What began 3 months ago as a casual stroll with my dog turned into a full-blown war of principles. That afternoon, I noticed a construction crew unloading massive landscaping stones near one of the fire hydrants in our common area. Curious, I walked over and asked a worker, "What are you building here?" The foreman, chewing gum and looking half interested, motioned with his head. "Talk to her," he said, pointing to a woman standing nearby, arms crossed, squinting in approval at the semicircle of stones forming around the hydrant. Linda Harper. She spotted me and called out with her signature, self-satisfied grin. "Beautification project. HOA board approved it last week. It's going to raise property values by at least 5%. I stepped closer, examining how tightly the stones were being arranged. "Linda, this hydrant needs 3 feet of clearance on all sides. This design is a violation of fire code." Her smile thinned into a scowl. "I've been HOA president for 7 years. I think I know what's permitted. This is decorative, and it's on common HOA property, meaning it falls under my jurisdiction, not yours." I kept my voice level. "It's not about jurisdiction, it's about safety. Blocking access to this hydrant could cost lives. Fire codes exist for a reason." She waved her phone in the air. "Section 12, Paragraph 4 of our bylaws says the HOA board has full authority over common area aesthetics. That includes landscaping." Her voice grew louder, attracting the attention of passing neighbors. "This isn't aesthetics," I said firmly. "It's emergency access. There's no wiggle room here." "I've already made the decision," she snapped. "You're welcome to bring it up at the next board meeting, 2 months from now." I turned and walked away, jaw clenched. I wasn't about to let a wall of stones become a fire hazard for the sake of her vision. That evening, I called Fire Marshal Tom Reynolds and explained the situation. "HOA again?" he sighed. "Document everything. Photos, timestamps, measurements. I'll schedule an inspection if it looks bad." The next morning, a certified letter appeared in my mailbox. A violation notice citing my front hedges, allegedly 1 inch above regulation height, a $200 fine, and a week to comply. They hadn't changed since I moved in. This was retaliation, pure and simple. I trimmed them anyway. I wasn't about to hand Linda an excuse to escalate further. Over the next few days, I monitored the hydrant area. Stones and flower beds now encased it like a fortress. The final measurement? 18 inches of clearance. I sent photos and full documentation to the fire marshal. Saturday afternoon, as I cleaned tools in the garage, I heard footsteps crunching up my driveway. Linda again, this time flanked by 2 HOA board members, Ed and Marissa. "We've had complaints about the color of your garage door," Linda said loudly. "It's not in compliance with the new taupe standards." I glanced at Ed. He looked uneasy. "It's the same color it was when I moved in," I said. "The HOA approved it last year." Linda pulled out another violation notice. "We updated our color palette. Everyone had 6 months to repaint. Your deadline was yesterday. This is a $500 fine. Linda, Ed interjected, I don't remember voting on this. Linda's eyes narrowed. It was approved in executive session. That's not how we're supposed to do things, Ed mumbled, but she ignored him. I'll be contesting this, I said, taking the notice. Be my guest, she smirked. The meeting's not until July. Good luck. That Monday, Fire Marshal Reynolds arrived. Linda must have seen his truck because she bolted from her house. You can't. Just show up without HOA permission, she barked. I don't need permission when emergency access is being compromised, Reynolds replied, stepping out with a clipboard and measuring tape. Neighbors began watching from porches and behind curtains as Linda tried and failed to assert control. This is harassment, she shouted. He's had it out for me since he moved here. Reynolds ignored her. Clearance is 18 inches. That violates National Fire Protection Code 3.7.5.1. It needs to be 3 feet. This obstruction is a safety hazard. It's removable, Linda said. They can just shift the stones if there's ever a fire. We don't have time to dismantle decorations in an emergency, Reynolds said coolly. You have 48 hours to remove the obstruction or face $1,000 per day in fines and possible misdemeanor charges. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Linda didn't just keep the stones. She added more. Taller plants, heavier boulders, a wrought iron trellis. She sent out a newsletter praising the project and accusing certain residents of trying to sabotage community improvements. 2 days later, Reynolds returned. I watched from my lawn, phone in hand. We made improvements, Linda beamed. There's now a path, he measured. 20 inches, still non-compliant, and the new boulders make hose attachment impossible. Linda crossed her arms. Our attorney, this isn't up for debate, Reynolds interrupted. You've received a formal warning. This is now willful noncompliance. He radioed dispatch. Within minutes, 2 patrol cars arrived. The sound of sirens drew neighbors like moths to flame. What's happening? Why are the cops here? Linda turned red. This is abuse of power. This is obstruction of emergency equipment and failure to comply with a fire safety order, a police sergeant said calmly. You're being charged with 2 misdemeanors. This is ridiculous. I'm the HOA president. Hands behind your back, ma'am. Gasps rippled through the crowd as Linda was handcuffed and placed in the back of a cruiser. This is his fault, she screamed, locking eyes with me. He's ruined everything. I'll sue you. The court case drew heavy local interest. Linda hired a flashy lawyer who tried to spin it as decorative freedom, but the judge was unmoved. This was a public safety issue, he said. Your refusal to comply with clear orders put lives at risk. He sentenced Linda to 100 hours of community service at the fire department's education center, a $7,500 fine, and 1 year of probation. She'd be teaching school children about the importance of fire hydrant accessibility. The irony was poetic. In court, Linda broke down. You don't understand. I was trying to protect property values. This will ruin me. Safety comes first, the judge said flatly, gavel striking like a final nail in her manufactured empire. Afterward, the tide turned. At the next board meeting, neighbors packed the room. Stories poured out. Unjust fines, silent rule changes, intimidation. Ed stood up. We've had enough. I motioned to suspend Linda Harper's presidency. Pending full board review, applause broke out. Weeks later, Linda's name was scrubbed from the HOA directory. Her newsletter ceased. The hydrant, fully accessible and freshly painted. No decorations in sight. Moving to Willow Creek taught me a lot about petty power, unchecked authority, and what happens when good people don't back down. Standing up for safety didn't just protect the hydrant, it protected the whole neighborhood. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful tales of resilience and justice. Your support allows us to keep delivering valuable insights and stories that inform and inspire people everywhere. Thank you for watching Work Story, and see you in the next one.